And we see,
Like your speed.
alright, so BabyKnight in the bottom right, the red Protoss, and Elfi in the top left, the blue Protoss.
And openings will be kind of everything here. Elfi very, very build order dependent PvP, and very, very good at winning the build order battles. Like you said in the pregame, he's very, very good at either going 4-gate when people don't expect it, or faking a 4-gate and using that reputation to trick people into playing overly defensive. That's really like fast 4 prison stuff. He's pretty much any build.
He definitely likes to either 4-gate or then pretend to be 4-gating and to just take an expand or something, or do something else to get kind of an economic lead, which I think is a very smart way to play PvP, and being very unpredictable, and just when your opponent is completely in the dark about what you're doing, it's easy to just take the game in your hands and then, you know, get wins that way.
It is, but that was a few months ago that he really had that streak of PvP dominance. The matchups settled down quite a bit after the Immortal buff and some of the other patches. 2-gate Robo expansion has kind of become a very standard, safe, solid build that deals with any kind of 4-gate pressure, but also leaves you fine versus greedy builds. And obviously it has weaknesses. There's still some build order luck to the matchup, but I don't think Elfi's old style will be nearly as powerful as it was back then when the matchup was more volatile.
We see him sending out his first probe, and actually he scouted for any proxy gates, which is definitely smart, playing it safe and just trying to get as much information as possible in the early game. But we see both of them actually going for a gate extractor, or not extractor, assimilator. Very standard openings, just going to go for that cybernetics core. There might be a difference whether one player will make a zealot or not, maybe try to harass with that zealot. And we see now Elfi getting into the main base of BabyKnight and going to see exactly what's going on, but nothing too surprising so far.
BabyKnight sent his probe out quite a bit later, so he has just a slight resource advantage, and not too big of a deal. A lot of Protosses aren't scouting very early on. Some don't even scout at all at this point, just because you're not going to get a whole ton of information before the Stalker's actually out. The builds deviate after the point where the probe will be pushed out of the base anyway. So short of any cheese or whatnot. Although Elfi did scout for proxy gates, so we may have expected cheese.
For proxy gates actually definitely happen sometimes in this matchup still.
Yeah. I do know almost nothing about BabyKnight's style. He is pretty much purely a European player, and he's relatively new to the scene, so I'm not sure if I've even seen him play before. So he's going to be kind of interesting to see just what he does and how good he is going into this match for me.
The first difference, oh, here's the Zealot going to go for that probe. He wants to keep that alive as long as possible for sure. And Elfi actually taking BabyKnight's gas, so he took his own gas, second gas, started mining that with 2 probes so far, and stole BabyKnight's gas, so that's definitely gonna hurt BabyKnight with his gas income, so he could still 4-gate. He's actually chrono boosting his cybernetics core, so Elfi can see that though, so we'll see what BabyKnight wants to do from here.
It looks like he is saving up minerals. He is going to put down at least 2 more gateways, I think. You see if he goes for the full gateway all in, he's going to pressure with 3 gateways to put down the next. But this is exactly what Elfi wants. When you do a gas deal, you're hoping your opponent's going to 4-gate and you can just defend it easily. And he's chrono boosting out his own work gate, so he should be well prepared for it. I think if BabyKnight 4-gates, it's just playing right into Elfi's hands.
Yeah, he is saving up his chrono boost though, and it looks like he wants to 3-gate pressure with a second gas that he just took, so it's going to probably be like a bunch of stalkers trying to see if they can possibly get up a ramp if Elfi doesn't make enough sentries or decides to tech up too fast.
It looks like Elfi is going for the really fast 3-stalker build, and he's just going to try and control the probe and the forward pylons. However, BabyKnight does have the forward pylon going down. He still has that probe out there to put down another one, and his units are coming in here already.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 stalkers. Here's the pylon as well for BabyKnight. It's going to be 2 stalkers and 1 zealot against 2 stalkers and 1 zealot, and we'll see who can micro better. And the probe actually doesn't get the pylon, so here's the target firing the zealot first. Both stalkers get damaged, but the zealot dies. I'm not sure what's better here. If you can save those stalkers, it's probably better for BabyKnight.
I don't know. I think that the stalker HP is so important. Losing that was kind of sloppy control there by BabyKnight. Elfi took actually no damage there. He has the sentry to block off the stalker.
Yeah, the sentry is gonna have no problems at all blocking this off. Here's the force field. Actually traps a stalker and a zealot.
Yeah.
So that is great. He's gonna run this away and maybe save it for a little bit. Maybe actually he's gonna get a full scout now. So. That's actually not bad. He sees a robo, he knows that he probably doesn't have to worry about DTs or anything like that right now. And still trying to pressure this ramp, but with the force field I don't see anything happening here.
A little sloppy by BabyKnight to let that get up in there, but Elfi not really taking advantage of it, losing some units, almost losing a sentry there, and having to pull his probes. So he's getting some unit kills out of that, but it's still costing him. And behind this, BabyKnight has put down his own Nexus, knowing that he's not going to have to worry about anything too soon. There's only 2 gateways down for Elfi. He's not really going to be able to pressure right away off that. He's going to have to wait for Immortals to build up. So BabyKnight feels free to put down that Nexus, and we'll have to see if Elfi's going to just accept the economic disadvantage, or if he's going to try and all in after he sees this.
Yeah, it's the Nexus and the Twilight Council, so BabyKnight is just gonna like totally ignore the Robo, get the fast Nexus, probably start getting a lot of more probes, and then just try to beat the Robo army with Blink Stalkers, and like blinking on Immortals and stuff is like really important. But I think this is good for BabyKnight.
I don't know, he doesn't have a lot of units built up, and the Immortal time could hit really quickly before that Nexus really kicks in. I'm not sure if he'll be able to mass up enough units to actually counter the effectiveness of the Immortals.
Yeah, there is a 3rd gateway going up, so it's really going to be. I think when Elfi sees what he's up against with the fast expansion, he's probably just going to stay on one base and get as many units as possible with Immortals, and then do a big attack. He's actually going to get some Colossus as well, just adding a robotic bay.
Colossus all-ins have become very popular recently in PvP. One-base Colossus all-ins to bust the expansion. But that's a really late roll. Good
with
force fields
he
there.
traps a Stalker and kills it.
Actually, that was 4 force fields for only a single Stalker. I'm not sure if
and he's warping in some Zealots, so he's going to try to get out of his contain now. There's a Sentry, good force field. So he can kill off these Zealots before they can join with the rest of the army. Kills 1 Zealot so far, going for another one, and now BabyKnight's just going to have to run away, unless he wants to force field again.
I don't think he has any mana.
No, he can't.
Yes,
now he's gonna get stuck.
Losing all these
units
units
everything.
is huge.
This is very huge for Elfi. He's killing off all BabyKnight Stalkers.
BabyKnight was in a great position there. He was getting a bunch of unit kills for free. He could have maintained his entire army. But going
Blink,
in there, he lost everything.
Blink is like now done. Right after the fight, Blink is done. So if that was like 1 second earlier, he could have escaped with all his Stalkers. But now he has like 6 Stalkers, and he's up against an Immortal, 4 Stalkers, and a Sentry, so actually it's not bad, but if the Immortal count gets higher, or the Colossus...
Yeah, Elfi is opting to put down that Nexus though, which will let BabyKnight get enough Blink Stalkers up that he can threaten a counterattack before any kind of aggression comes out from Elfi. So, this matchup... Actually, Elfi's moving out with his army despite putting down that Nexus.
And here's another fight, now this time with Blink. He's targeting down a Stalker, and Elfi's gonna have to move back. I think this is very dangerous for Elfi. He only has 3 Stalkers against these 5 now, and he's targeting down the Immortal, and he's gonna get it actually. So now these 3 Stalkers are in trouble, and there's 3 more Stalkers joining the army, and Elfi is going to lose all these units, and I think that BabyKnight's just going to be able to run up here and at least force a cancel on his Nexus with his forward pylon that is still up, so this is very bad for Elfi.
Yeah, definitely. The